Hey everyone, this is your girl Sharifa, aka Shree, and welcome to the I'm Good podcast, or in better words, the I Feel Good podcast. If you are new here, welcome to the family. This is a podcast where I explore topics on mental health, physical health, nutrition, and everything in between. So if you're trying to get right and stay right mentally, this is definitely the place you want to be. And wait, before I begin, here's some quick info. Why did I name this podcast I'm Good? Simple. Because as people, from a cultural standpoint, whether we are down or happy, our favorite response to friends, families, or strangers is I'm good, even if we're not. It's completely normal not to feel happy all the time, but in the midst of whatever you go through, the saying I'm good can elaborate to so many different meanings. So yes, this is the place to be, whether you are down, happy, excited, and everything in between. I'm here to dish out knowledge, talk about current topics, and of course, lift you up. So feel free to go ahead and subscribe, share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. Now let's go ahead and get started on today's show. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me explain to you really quick. First of all, for starters, it's free. Yes, I said it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And I know most of you guys have a phone or computer, so it's so easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So make sure you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey y'all, welcome back to the I'm Good podcast. If you are new here, what's good? What's poppin'? Thank you so much for tuning in. I miss you guys. No, seriously, I miss you guys. And I already know you guys are probably like, where have you been? Listen, I'm going to get into that in a second, but I just want to thank everyone who has still tuned in to the I'm Good podcast since I've been taking a little break from recording. So I still uploaded podcast episodes from a couple months back and some from last year. So I uploaded podcast episodes that did really, really well. But yes, y'all. So I want to say thank you to you guys. I want to say thank you to everyone who has, still caught up, and even listened to old episodes while you guys were waiting for me to release some new episodes. So thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be back. And then shout out to all of my new listeners. So shout out to anybody that is new. If this is your first time listening to me, Shree, welcome to the I'm Good podcast. For my I'm Good fam, which is my returning listeners, what's good, what's popping? You already know what it is, what it do. But I really want to say thank you guys for holding down the fort. Thank you for rocking with your girl. Thank you for rocking with the podcast. And listen, like I always tell you guys all the time, expressing gratitude is so important, because I also understand that no one has to listen to this podcast. It's solely up to you. It's not like someone's forcing you. And if someone is forcing you, okay, that's a little different. But yes, so no one is forcing you to listen to this podcast. So like I said, it's greatly appreciated. And I want to thank everyone, like I said, who has still hung on to the ride with me, with this podcast. Also, too, this podcast is not only sponsored by Anchor, it is also sponsored by All Things Shree. That is my clothing store. So it features apparel that is meant to motivate, inspire, and uplift you. So I do have a special promo code for all of my I'm Good Fam listeners and all of my podcast listeners. Use promo code I'm Good Fam in capital letters at checkout to get 10% off your entire order. Once again, use promo code I'm Good Fam at checkout to get 10% off of your entire order. Also, too, do not forget to go ahead and leave a rating and review. So if you are listening to this on an iPhone or any Apple device, you can certainly go ahead and leave a quick rating. It takes 2 seconds to do. If you just scroll down to the bottom, you'll see this to the bottom. You'll see the star rating. So you can go ahead and click the rating there. And then also, too, feel free to leave a review. Feel free to let me know how you feel about the podcast. Listen, it could be good or bad, whatever. I've been in the social media world for quite a bit now, so I'm kind of used to whatever comes my way. So Make sure you guys go ahead and leave a review. That would be greatly appreciated. So this podcast, if you don't know, is available on all platforms. So some of the few is Spotify. We're on Amazon Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts. We are on, what am I forgetting, y'all? Tons. We're on Google Podcasts. Pretty much any podcast outlet out there, I'm Good Podcast is on that platform. So whatever way you're listening to this podcast, make sure you guys go ahead and leave a rating and review. Like I said, that will not only, be your way to express gratitude, for this show, but it also will help boost and allow other people to be notified and know more about this podcast as well. And along with rating and reviews, make sure you guys go ahead and share it. You can share this on your social media, whether you have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be. Feel free to share it. And you can also share by word of mouth. So you can share with your family members. You can share with your boo, your bae, your husband, your wife, whoever it may be, your friend, your teacher. Listen, you can share with anybody. Like I said, this is a podcast where we talk about all things basically positivity. And we're just here to feel good. We want the word I'm good to actually really be I'm good. Like you really actually feel good. So yes, y'all. So thank you guys once again, like I said, for rocking with your girl. So where have I been? Y'all, so much has been going on. And I'm not even complaining. And that's the thing about this podcast is I always talk about ways to, get through stuff, blah, blah, blah. But life really has been happening and a lot of different things been happening. But one of the most recent things was that I did lose my grandmother. So rest in peace to you, Grandma. I'm going to dedicate this podcast episode to you. Rest in peace, Grandma. So yes, I recently lost my grandmother. So that's another reason why I didn't record last week. And I haven't recorded a couple weeks prior to that. So a lot has been going on, but I am happy to be back. Life is life. You're gonna, I honestly, to be transparent with you guys, I honestly told myself I will never post throwback episodes. I will never post old episodes. Yeah, that took a quick turn, especially when I had COVID. I was like, yeah, I'm not recording. And then two, when I've been dealing with a few things just lately in my life, I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to upload some older episodes. So the good thing about this is that I've been consistent pretty much close to 2 years. So I was able to, I have tons and tons and tons of content and tons of episodes to upload. So that was the beautiful thing. Hence why it is also so important. I want to say to you guys, it's so important, to be consistent. So if you ever find yourself in a place where it's like you're stuck, whatever, if you already have things in the vault, you don't have to worry about feeling like, oh my gosh, like I got to take a break and there's going to be a gap. Like, no, I took a break, but I still uploaded every Friday, regardless. So yes, y'all. So also too, guess what, y'all? It's officially my 2-year podcast anniversary to the day. Well, to the day in regards to Friday. The exact date will be March 13th, which is the best day ever, which is my birthday. I celebrate my birthday March 13th, which is Sunday in 2 days. So shout out to all of my Pisces. Shout out to all my March 13th birthday twins. A shout out to my March babies. But this podcast was started on March 13th, the beginning of the pandemic. So this podcast was birthed during the pandemic. So yes, but it was started on a Friday. So with that said, today is my 2-year podcast anniversary. And I can't believe we're here. And not to say that I didn't think I was going to be here, whatever. There's a lot of different things that I want to implement. And I know I said this before. And I had to kind of take a step back and, deal with some of my own personal things. But there is a lot of things that I really, really, really want to do with this podcast, ways to grow it and things like that. And I know I'll get there. I know I definitely will get there. But in the meantime, I'm like, I still want to, continue to record and push out these episodes. And yes, y'all. So also too, something that I will be adding, I think I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I will start adding, I want to start adding a subscription service. So it's a service where I can, basically elaborate more on some things and just help people overall. But we'll kind of get into that probably in some later episodes about what that would entail. But yes, y'all. So, listen, y'all, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm learning, like I said, just to push through. That's all you can do, because it's cute and all when you could push through when things is going well. But it's like you're really tested, and God really tests you when you can push through when you going through it. Okay. So that's one thing, I had to teach myself, like, okay, yes, it's cute and dandy when you're feeling well and doing well, but the real ultimate test is, can you still push through and do what you need to do when you don't? And also, too, it's also okay to not be okay. And I have to tell myself that, like, I'm trying to learn to tell myself, like, okay, sis, it's okay not to be okay, but you can't always stay there. It's okay to have a season or a moment, but I have to sometimes teach myself it's okay to be okay, because I'll get so frustrated because I feel like at all times I'm supposed to be happy, or I'm supposed to be this and that, but I have to also understand, like, I am human. So it's okay not to be okay. So yes, y'all. So today I want to talk about, self-care. This is a hot topic, self-care, confidence, things like that I'd like to talk about on this podcast, because I know a lot of my listeners, love when I talk about self-care, as well as, eating healthy and foods that, help boost your mood, which is, also something that I love talking about. But today I want to talk about practicing self-care, since, like I said, just these past couple weeks and stuff like that. I neglected my health. I neglected working out. I neglected eating healthy, and I could feel it. Like, I could feel it in my mood. I could just feel it in my body. And there's a lot of things that I neglected. So I want to talk about, different ways to practice self-care and what it looks like, and what it can look like for you. So, like I said, with these podcast episodes, I'll be giving you advice, but guys, trust me, the advice that I give you, listen, I be giving to myself. So we are all a work in progress. And something I like to tell myself is that, none of us are perfect. And I think a lot of times I'm so stuck on perfectionism, and I had to give that up. Like, sis, you're not perfect. Like, just even recently, like on social media, like, I've been more open to like posting things of me where I just don't look that perfect. I'm like, you know what? It's whatever. Because I feel like for me, I put so much pressure on myself when I try to appear perfect or do something perfect. And I'm like, listen, no, it got to go. So I want to talk about ways to practice self-care and how to just put you first. And even if it's not, putting yourself first, especially if you have like a family, or you're taking care of someone, or whatever it may be, I want to talk about things that you can do for yourself so that you can show up better for your family, for your spouse, for yourself, for your friends, whoever it may be. I want to talk about some things that you can do to practice self-care. The first one on my list is, work towards something that, motivates you, or something that inspires you, to reach a certain goal. So you have to kind of basically figure out, okay, what inspires me? What is it that, makes me happy, or who inspires me? Like, sometimes for me, like, in order for me to be inspired, I have to watch like Eric Thomas. So I love Eric Thomas. He is a motivational speaker. I claim it. I will meet him one day. I don't care. And hopefully, listen, he may be listening to this podcast. I will meet him one day. Listen, one day I will be on his podcast as a speaker, okay? As a guest. And I will. And I mark my words. We're going to save this episode, but one day I will, okay? I will definitely be on his podcast, episode, The Secret to Success podcast, as one of his guests. But you want to work towards something that inspires you, whether that's, painting, whether that is working on a website, working on your business, whatever it may look like for you, you want to work towards something that inspires you. Like for me, I enjoy like entrepreneurship, like the creative aspect of it, like creating things and, working on different things. And like that inspires me. And then, like I said, the person that inspires me, that I like to listen to a lot, that, brings me motivation is Eric Thomas. Like I said, shout out to Eric Thomas. A lot of you guys may know him as the E.T., the hip hop preacher. If you are not familiar with him, please, please, please go on YouTube, click on Eric Thomas, whatever it may be, because like I said, this man literally has helped me through so much in regards to like the motivational stuff, like the way he just motivates you is nuts. So that's the first one. You want to work towards something that inspires you. The number two, the next thing I would say, another way to practice self-care is to basically laugh a little, okay? And I know I mentioned this before, but And I've been doing this the past couple weeks. I've been trying to find like shows that are funny. I try to like, maybe YouTube funny podcast shows and things like that. So one show that I actually find very funny, my own stuff, it has its own humor, is Abbott Elementary. I just got onto that, like, I want to say maybe about 2 weeks ago. And I know I've seen a lot of people on social media talk about it. My brother had mentioned it. But the comedy is a little different. So I will kind of call it like dry humor, not dry humor, but it reminds me of, like I said, like Blackish or The Office or something like that. Not that I've seen The Office, but I've seen little like, not commercials, but little snippets. But yeah, it's that type of humor. But to me, I like to watch things, that are funny, especially like if I'm feeling like down. Because when you watch something that's funny or any type of comedy, or you listen to like a comedian, it really takes the problem off of you. I think a lot of times when you're dealing with something or you're just down or you're moody, a lot of times it's because you're in yourself. And it's okay to be in yourself and just be aware of yourself. But sometimes we become so in ourselves that we lose ourselves, not understanding that, okay, sometimes you just need to stop thinking about yourself. Like, you have to start just understanding there's more. Obviously, you are yourself, but there's more than just you. Like, you have to get yourself out of that mood, or you just have to just watch something that makes you feel good. So that's number 2 on my list in regards to practicing self-care. Watch something funny. Watch a stand-up, a comedy. Go to a comedy show. Go on YouTube and type in comedians, whatever type of comedian you like. Like for me, like I said, I like watching Abbott Elementary. I do watch the 85 South show. It is sometimes hit or miss for me a little bit with the 85 South show. Whoa, you know what it is? They now have their own platform, the 85 South app, whatever. And I think you got to pay like a monthly subscription, which eventually I will. I think it's like $8.50 a month for 85 South show. Some of their stuff I will say is like kind of like raunchy, not raunchy, but a lot of bad words I was saying it. But overall, generally, I do really find Carlos Miller, Chico Bean, and DC Young Fly very funny. They're a fool. The next one on my list is go to your favorite restaurant. Or restaurant or food place. Like if there's like a place that you like to go to where you enjoy their food, or like maybe there's like a fancy restaurant you want to go and get dressed up, go get cute, do something. Like go to your favorite restaurant, go sit in at your favorite food place. That's another thing too I noticed with myself. Like once I like kind of, spice things up and, did something to myself, like, I put on my lashes, got my hair done, things like that. Things start improving, but get dressed, get cute, go wash yourself, whatever, and take yourself out. Or, if you're with somebody, whatever, or maybe you have a sis or whoever you want to be, ask your friend, whoever, ask them, do they want to go to a restaurant with you? If they want to get food. And I'm not saying takeout. I'm saying sit in the actual restaurant. Because like I said, sometimes we get caught up in our own self. So we try to like, especially like if you going through it and you feel like you do need to get away and practice self-care, sometimes it's best to get outside of your environment, because there's so much more to this world than what we know of. Like even for me, like I'm like, there's so much more to this world. There's so much more exposure and things that I could and should be exposed to than what I am experiencing now. So go to your favorite restaurant, go get some food, but make sure you eat there. And now with COVID, basically everything is lifted. So trust me, I'm pretty sure wherever you're located, you can go there without a vaccination card. If you needed one, if you're not vaccinated, or if you are vaccinated, then listen, you really can go there. So yes, take yourself out, go to your favorite restaurant, go to your favorite food place, and listen, just taking the atmosphere, taking the environment, and just feel good. Like taste the food and just take your time and just experience life. Like, y'all, that's really what self-care is, experiencing life. So number 4, we talked about this before, and I know you guys are probably like, where is your midweek roll call affirmations? Listen, y'all. So honestly, I was trying to intertwine them into like another segment of something that I'm working on. So we'll see how that go. But number 4 is speak positive affirmations. We talk about this all the time, the importance of speaking affirmations. Now, me, like I said, I literally kind of fell off with that the past few weeks, or actually the past few months. honestly, like I have, and it's so funny. Just yesterday, I told myself, I'm like, shoot, I need to write down some affirmations, to really like push me to like go even harder. Like for me, I'm a quote person. So if I hear like a good quote or somebody says something that like really strikes me, what I'll do is I'll get a sticky note and then I'll write whatever it is on the sticky note. Then I'll put it right by my desk. But speaking affirmations, like I said, is very, very important. If you can just write down 3 affirmations and say those out loud to yourself or in your head, once you get up in the morning and once at night, listen, you will be amazed. And I still say, I don't have them necessarily written down, but I'll still say affirmations. Like when I'm feeling antsy, I'll say, I am calm and relaxed. I am healthy and whole. I am happy. Good things, come to me. Abundance is on its way. Like I'll still say things. Like I will still speak affirmations. I may not actually physically have it written down, even though I do. It's somewhere in my office, but I don't know where. But I still have certain affirmations that are stuck in my head. So one, like I said, that's stuck in my head is I am calm and relaxed. Number 5, another way to practice self-care is to make a vision board. This year, I did not make a vision board, partly because I wasn't feeling well at the beginning of the year. I told you guys before I ended up getting COVID, and pretty much a lot of people end up having COVID. But I got COVID the beginning of the year, so I didn't make a vision board. It was something that I did want to do slightly. And the reason why I say slightly, because the past couple years I did a vision board, which is nice. And not to say that I didn't achieve the things on the board, but sometimes like, the whole act of, the vision board is basically to help motivate you towards your goals. I realize, vision boards are okay and I love them, but I'm like, you still have to do the work. So I think a lot of times when we have vision boards, sometimes we look at the vision board and we're like, okay, well, I put this on the vision board, so it should do the work itself. And like, that's really not the case. And so this year I haven't done a vision board. I mean, granted, we're only in March. I still have time. It don't even matter if you're in December, or whatever month it is, May. You can still do a vision board. There's really no right or wrong when you want to do a vision board. You could do a monthly vision board. You could do a weekly vision board. You could do a daily vision board. It really is no right or wrong. It's just that, the intentions of when you do a vision board at the first of the year, it's supposed to kind of bring out what's going to happen for the rest of the year, your intentions for the rest of the year. And like I said, some things will be beyond your control. Like I said, life will happen. You'll go through different things. So things, will change. And one thing I had to learn as well is learning how to pivot. I know TD Jakes has talked about that before. That is someone that I listen to as well, a spiritual mentor. But he talks about, needing to pivot. And I'm learning that. And I think a lot of us learn that, especially during the pandemic, is like, even businesses had to learn that. Like, okay, yes, businesses may have ran specifically in the office and all of your work was done in the office, but they had to pivot and be like, okay, what can we do when things turn remotely? So that's another thing, too, is that, this has have to do much with self-care, but learning to pivot. Like, that's so, so important. That's something that I was struggling with, and I'm still kind of struggling with a little bit, but I'm learning like you can't really, when you try to resist change, it just makes it harder. But learning to pivot, like, okay, things change, things are different. This is my new baseline. What can I do now? And then also, like I said, when things pivot and change, that's your opportunity to also speak affirmations to yourself, to get yourself to, where you want to be in life. Number 6, the number 6 thing on my list in regards to ways to practice self-care is eating healthy. I know I talk about this all the time, but eating healthy, I'm talking about eliminating sweets, because sweets leads to depression, stress, anxiety. So I'm talking about eating healthy. So if that means you got a juice for like a day, whatever, but I'm talking about try your best to eat your foods in its raw form. So your fruits, your vegetables. Try your best, like I said, to eat healthy. That will really, really, really help you to feel better about yourself. You'll also feel more confident. You'll feel like you're actually taking ownership of your body. So that's the number 6 one on my list is eating healthy. Like I said, I'm not going to get fully into with all the foods that you should eat, because if you check out the previous episodes, I'll talk about foods that boost your mood, foods that help your gut health, foods that just overall make you feel good. The foods that I name in those podcast episodes are foods that you generally should eat to eat healthy. And number 7, the last one on my list is drink your water. Okay. Drink your water. For me, I don't know what it is about water, but I feel like water just cures everything. I don't know what it is, but like I carry like a big gallon jug, but I feel like water just cures everything. And like for me also too, these past couple weeks, I haven't even really been drinking my water. And so like today I filled up my jug. It's a gallon jug. And I'm like, I have to start drinking my water. So drink your water, whether, I don't know how many, ounces of water, people drink a day, whatever. But I know for myself or a lot of people, I would say we tend not to drink enough water. And for myself, I definitely know when I'm not drinking enough water because a lot of times I'm like lethargic and I'm just like, okay. Or sometimes I might just feel tired or weak. And a lot of times it's just that I'm not getting first of all, the proper nutrients and I'm not also drinking enough water. So those are 7 things that you can do or 7 ways, 7 things that you can do to practice self-care. Like I said, it is very, very important, to practice self-care, no matter, if whatever you're dealing with in life, it is still important to do things, to help yourself. Because if you're still alive, you still have an opportunity to make a change and an opportunity to feel even better. You may be feeling good now, but wouldn't it be even beautiful just to feel even better or feel even happier? You may be happy now, but to feel even happier. So those are just some things that you can do to practice self-care. Oh, y'all, I don't even have my stuff up. Listen, y'all, it's been a minute. Listen, I got to pull up. Let me pull up my stuff, y'all. It really has been a minute. I forgot to pull up some stuff. So as I pull that up. But yes, y'all. So, practicing, like I said, as I get my stuff up, practicing self-care is very, very important. And I just want everyone to know, like, you're not alone. Whatever you may be going through, or if you're not going through nothing, that's fine. And it's so funny, like I said, we all have different seasons in life. And, sometimes we're going through tough seasons. Sometimes we're going through a good season. But, it's really about the perspective that you have and your mindset. And I had to learn that. Like, sometimes you'll see people going through a lot and you're like, dang, they still happy. But really it's a mindset, and it's also something that they practice. A lot of times people who have that mindset, they're either reading a lot or they've been practicing whatever they've been practicing, to keep yourself, in a clean and happy spirit. So this week's quote of the week is make yourself a priority. Plain and simple. Make yourself a priority. All right, I'm good, fam. You already know what time it is. We are now at the end of this week's show, and I hope this information was helpful, insightful, and everything in between. Do not forget to subscribe, share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. Thank you guys once again, y'all, so much for rocking with me for 2 whole years, y'all. It's been 2 years. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see all of you beautiful people next week. Bye-bye.